Thanksgiving begins a very special time of the year for us. It's the time of peace and reflection, and of getting ready for the new year. One thing we should all be thankful for is that we live in America, where we have the freedom to change things and the opportunity to...
Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show, starring Big Blue.
Can I say hi, Kim?
Hi. Oh, I love you. You are just like a giant.
Or
Lady Liberty just squirted in my face. Say when you do drink with a straw, the myth is you get more drunk because you get more air mixed in.
Hi, Maggie.
Like, you know how the fans going like this? It goes, ooh, yeah, when it hits my butthole. Last time I went to Mexico, I stopped by a little stand and the lady had gloves. I was like, lady, take off those gloves. I need that shit.
It wasn't.
I'm drinking beer so you can feel good and like it tastes good. What the hell's the point of this?
And Daniel J.
I got a friend named Jonathan Martinez who's not allowed in the library. Yo puede hablar español cuando yo tomando. You look very handsome tonight, LJ.
Every day, it's an everyday thing. I gotta
wake up if this is excellence.
Y'all watch them every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I get to see them every day. I get to see that. I get to see those chicks every day. What's on his face?
And the other ones.
3000, it still sucks. This is Philip J. Fry, and you're listening to the Drunken Turkey Show. Your one stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drunk Turkey Show. I'm your host, Daniel J. Alongside with me is Big Blue. Hi, man. He's here too. He's just getting up there and getting a beverage for himself. Blue, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Doing good. You know, I also got a beverage to enjoy. You know, it's part of the rap songs. They're drinking some E&J and pouring it up. So I got some E&J peach.
Oh, nice.
Peach. I guess this is bourbon.
Peach bourbon, man. Leaning on the bourbon, eh? So I'll be drinking tonight as well, man. It's a special occasion. So I'll be having a little bit of bird dog. This is something new. I've had bird dog salted caramel before, and it tastes fantastic. But one of my favorite drinks is a praline whiskey, but I haven't been able to find it. So went out to the liquor store and they had some bird dog praline flavored whiskey. I'm gonna try that with some Dr. Pepper and give that thing a rock and roll, man. What are you gonna mix your drink with there, buddy?
I'm mixing it with a tea, so it's gonna be a peach tea.
Peach tea, man.
Peach tea. I feel like a little bit Georgia peach, you know.
Are you gonna start singing like Luke Bryan at the end of the show or what?
I just might.
So what we're doing tonight is, for on every Friday night we'll have our regular show, and then about halfway point we turn it into the chat is members only chat. And so hi there, welcome back. And so tip to the bartender Blue, $5 super chat. $5.50. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you so much for the stuff you've been sending on the email. I've been appreciating everything you're sending. And tonight we're also going to be giving away a Tumbler, and that'll be on the members only. So you got to be a member. It's it's members only chat. You don't have to. We're not ending the live or anything. We're just going to change the chat out at that point. And tonight too, when we have a new member added, myself, Blue, and Jaime, we'll take a drink.
Oh.
Jaime, what are you drinking tonight, buddy?
It's one of those nights. Holy smokes! Do you have a big enough bottle?
Don't get too drunk. Don't get too drunk.
I think I have to go get another bottle, but it's okay.
But while you do that, we're going to be bringing in our guest. This is a special night. First and foremost, we're going to be bringing in Publicly Buzzed. We have Steve and Dan. How's it going, y'all?
What's up?
Yo, what's going on?
Having a good night. Looks like you guys are too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are you guys drinking with us?
I will be later. I got to drive here shortly. I'm going to be dropping off and then coming back. And when I get back, I'm going to start drinking.
Nice. Awesome. That's when you're going to let loose. What about yourself, Steve? You drinking tonight?
As I posted earlier, we was talking, like you were talking about that praline. I went and tried my damnedest to get something different, but everybody that watches Publicly Buzzed regularly knows that my go-to drink is Crown Crown Royal, and I'm right back in that boat. So
Nice.
But
Crown's pretty good.
I'm not sad about it. So
we have a new member, True Crime Cafe with Doggo. Go check him out. Also, he's a YouTuber as well. Great content.
Dago's a good dude.
Yeah, he's always hanging out in our chats.
So we also have our designated driver of the night, the guy to keep us sane, the guy that's the referee, so to speak. You know him from the Opinionated Idiot. We got Bryan. How's it going, Bryan?
What's up, boys? How are you?
We're doing well, man. Doing well. Well, I know you're not drinking anything spiked, but
Well,
what are you having with us?
I was gonna say, Daniel, I have a 100 proof, and I don't know if you've heard of this. I have a 100 proof raspberry lime seltzer this evening, made by Polar. So
Nice.
no, it's just Polar. Like you said, I'm designated driving this evening, so I'll be the driver. You guys have a good time.
Oh yeah. Hey, we all need one.
Yes, sir. So Jaime, what were you drinking tonight? I think I saw it, but I want to make sure everybody knows. You can hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. You're good, man.
Yeah, I can't see myself on the screen. That's what I was asking.
We see you loud and clear.
I'm drinking Dos Equis, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Old feet.
Dressed or not dressed?
Naked.
That's when Jaime puts that third X in Dos Equis. And so we have a $5 super chat from D Attaway. Hi guys, Blue, pace yourself.
I will. Look, this is me pacing myself. Oh wait,
that's gonna be one of those nights. Who knows? Emmeth and Nikki with the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Cheers. And so there's been a lot of news here recently in the we'll talk a little bit of true crime first and foremost. There's been a lot of news in the Kohberger case here recently. Another court docs dump. Everybody here has seen the Giglio. There it is. Giglio and Brady rule. We'll do a little round circle. Who here thinks that it's going to end up being a big factor in this court? We'll start off with Blue, Jaime, Steve, Dan, and then Bryan. Blue, you go first.
I don't think it's going to be too big. I just think they just had to put it out there because the guy that was one of the first responding officers.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently there's two guys that were, I guess, involved in the sticker thing as well. And the other one was Nunez, who's also a responding officer as well. So two of them. Yeah, there are two that responded there that apparently were lying on the stand. What about you, Jaime? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's going to end up being a big piece of this case?
It shouldn't, but it will be because they're going to try to exploit it as much as they can. They're going to put a big spotlight on it and make it seem like they're, they don't have the tools. They're, what's called, they're doing a bad job and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they've kind of had this. They're kind of making a name for themselves of being a little shady. Well, we'll say that at least that. Thank you so much, Jody Bolt, for your $2.99 super chat. We appreciate you. What about you guys, Publicly Buzzed? Do you guys think that this is going to be something that's going to end up being an issue later on, or do you guys find this as just, something that's going to be well explained before trial?
Well, I started out not thinking that after I had looked up the definition that night of what it actually meant. Then the further I actually started digging into what actually happened with Gunderson, and now that I didn't know about Nunez, the credibility of the police department is going to be absolutely brought into question on the stand. So, yeah. Did I get lost?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was
Yeah.
at as well. Sorry, were you
No, I wasn't. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, gotcha. So me and Stevie kind of went over it last night, and I was in the boat where I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I thought it was going to be something super minor, Well, before your community came up with, what possibly it was about, the officer and the incident and all that.
Yeah, your video is what made me start digging that day.
Yeah.
The night prior, before, even when I made the video first on it, I still wasn't sure. You know what I mean? I still was kind of learning about even the definition and what it was about. And I'll even admit, I probably busted that video out a little premature. But then the next day when I really started digging, that's, again, like Dan was saying, that's when I started realizing that this could be, I'm not saying that it's going to get Kohberger off, but at the same time, it's going to bring questions.
Right. Yeah, I think it brings the credibility of the entire police force into question. It's and the defense is going to use that to their advantage, and I think it could be a big deal.
What about you, Brian? What are your thoughts on it? And thank you so much, True Cafe with Dago. We appreciate your support.
Thank you. Yeah, so when I heard about this, I started doing a lot of research into it, because you don't really hear a lot of this, but from what I'm finding, these are, and if anybody saw what I was talking about on my channel, from what I'm finding is Brady Giglio orders are pretty much filed, I wouldn't say in every case, but it is to put a lot of information out there. If you know that something may be going on in a specific, department, or something that's going on in, maybe another criminal case or during this case. And I think it is going to give some ammunition, just like everybody said on this panel, for the defense. Another thing that I think too is why I think the specific order was put out there was, the last time that we really heard any major thing around Brady Giglio was 1995, the O.J. Simpson trial. And what happened there is that they knew, the prosecution knew about Mark Furman's racist statements, and withheld all that, and that came out in trial, and it was not deposed to the defense. So when that came out in trial, that was a big issue, and I think that's why they just want to be very transparent in this case to not screw anything up.
Normally, I would agree with that, and I would think that if there was something to the effect like, in order to seal or unseal those documents, if there was one in particular. But the way the document stated, it stated that it has come to the attention of the court that there was an investigation done. And so this means this kind of when that word or verbiage is used, it kind of tells me that this is, something that wasn't expected, something that is new. And it also indicates that there was at least an incident. And so it's not something like a coverall where like, a lot of folks are wondering, like the co-defendant situation, right? Like them asking a blanket question, if there's a co-defendant there, that they have to relinquish that information. That's one thing. Asking if there's a blanket question about if there's officers that have had questionable situations, but this is referring to a specific incident, a internals and fair investigation. And so for me, I honestly do think this is something serious, because although it may not affect the case in total, what ends up happening is whatever part of that investigation that the officer was involved in, there's going to be a question of credibility. And unfortunately, that's the crime scene. And so you're looking at, the knife sheath, you're looking at the bodies, you're looking at everything that goes along with that. And so perhaps maybe if he didn't, there's just a criminal investigation. We don't know the outcome of that investigation, but from what I understand, I think he lied on the stand. I think both of them did.
He got like the police department was trying to conceal that body cam footage, and Gunderson is actually the one that messed up right there and mentioned it, and because they had been saying time and time again there is no footage. Then they produced this footage because from what I read, Gunderson messes up and then they produce it with no audio also. So I mean that goes right back to, again, just diving in real time, seeing the shadiness of what is going on with the Moscow Police Department. It I don't know. It's messing with me, man. I'm different today than I was even 2 days ago. Like this has actually messed with me the most than anything that's come out so far, personally.
No, I agree. It's unfortunate because let's just say they didn't do anything shady in this case. Like everything was done accurately and accordingly, right? this guy can and possibly could get off because, you know, if the knife sheath isn't used, that's a big part of the evidence that they have against him. You know, if you don't have the knife sheath, you don't have the DNA, you don't have a lot of those things. A lot of those things go out the window. The only thing that you have is his height, weight, build. You have whatever investigation that took them down to get a search warrant for his cellular pings, which happened to be apparently on his background and his studies and what he put out on Reddit. That's what led to the warrant for the pings on the 23rd. But with that being said, I mean, if they throw that out, I mean, that's a huge thing too, because that's the only thing that really puts him inside the house as well.
Yeah, that's the only thing that really ties him there. Like,
what's interesting about the
ties him there.
What's interesting about the sheath is that in the original affidavit, they were saying that the Idaho data testing or DNA testing facility is who found the DNA, but apparently it's come out that it was actually sent off to Texas,
right?
And that's who found it. So I mean, if that's wrong on that warrant, then what does that mean?
That was the other thing I was going to say. It was that warrant says that Moscow Police Department found that information, right?
Yeah.
And then it didn't. And then also there's nothing there from what I can read or have seen that puts. So when Gunderson and Nunez went in, they don't mention the knife sheath that was supposedly lying next to Maddie Mogen's body that, based on the probable cause affidavit states, you could see from the view from the door, right? From the view from the door, you could see the knife sheath.
Yeah.
Why isn't that in Gunderson's report?
Yep.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Jaime, what do you think? Do you think that knife sheath, do you think it was there at that time? That it's just error.
You know what, man? Like, I think this whole case is like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, man. It's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna start from the end and then and finish at the beginning. It's M. Night Shyamalan and Quentin Tarantino making this case. You know what I mean? It's just it doesn't surprise me that, you know, there's this light right now, spotlight on the police force, you know, for their incompetence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps getting deeper and deeper, man.
I think for me it was like, you know, it went on for so long and there was no suspect, and then everybody's just sitting here and they're going, you know, this may go cold. This may be years till we find someone, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, we have this person, and you're like, yeah, they got the guy. Like, you know, you're like, yeah, you know, they have the guy, and now over time, as time's going on and we're getting close to that trial, there's all these road bumps that are just popping up, you know, and it's like, you know, this guy, if, you know, he allegedly did it, he may walk, because there's so much things that are screwed up. And it's just like every day it feels like it's getting beaten down. And, you know, we're just a bunch of people on a panel. I can only imagine when the families start hearing this news. You know, it's very disheartening for them.
Man.
So, yeah, it is, man. And that's going to be the sad thing. And that's kind of what I had brought up, and, you know, to begin with, like, if this guy ends up walking, and he was a guy that ended up committing this crime, there is no justice in this case.
Yeah.
And it's Crime Time with Mama Bear. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. The $2 super chat.
Thank you.
So another big question that's been coming out, or one that I've been bringing up quite a bit myself, is when do you guys think that they started to zero in on Kohberger? When did he become prime suspect number one, in your opinion? We'll go in a circle. Jaime's having a little bit of attack. Big Blue. When do you think they started to zero in on him?
I think it wasn't until they got the DNA back and the warrant for the cell phone pings.
No, well, they were already watching him at that point. When do you think that? Do you think that it was early on? There's a lot of folks that don't know if they were. A lot of folks think that they zeroed in on Kohberger immediately, like right away.
Yeah, I actually have a question. Did they have anybody else? Was there other suspects that they seriously took into account, or did they have enough information out the gate, even with the pings and all the information, He just gave $2 on his own stream.
Thank you, sir.
We'll take a drink for that.
There was a question out there. Who has the best beard? I saw that question a little while ago.
Oh man, it ain't gonna be me.
Well.
Not me.
We got a haters gonna hate with $10. A great looking panel tonight, by the way. I super chat before and called me a guy. I'm a lady sitting on my Harley. You guys should. You guys should make a calendar.
Yeah. And haters gonna hate. That's a good one. Man. They're always in the stream dropping loot. They're a good one, man.
Thank you.
Oh man, thank you so much. We appreciate you and appreciate your support. Big Blue has a Harley also.
I wish, man. I want one.
I want to see Harley. I mean, I want to see Blue on a Harley, dude. You got to get that footage for some members only.
It's gonna need training wheels.
It just has the training wheels.
That's the only way I could ride it.
For my birthday, I was gonna go get my license. That's what I was thinking. I'm gonna go get my license.
Dude, I legit want one of the like 3-wheeler ones. Like, I really wouldn't feel safe on just like that. Sounds like a pussy thing, but I mean, I wouldn't feel safe on a 2-wheeler. 3 wheels, dude. 3 wheels. I'm ready. Like, I don't care what people are saying. I'm ready to have the wind in my hair, bro. Like,
wind in your beard. Wind in your beard, brother.
There you go.
It's I can barely drive a car, so I don't think it's a good thing for me to own a motorcycle.
Mikey has comes in with a 550 super chat. I sent you an email about the link to BK possibly last sent. My last sent, bro. Dig deep and do your thing. Will do, man. Will do. Thank you so much for your support and everything you sent me. He sends me a lot of information, Mikey. He helped me. Him amongst probably about maybe 4 others sent me the. I got an email like immediately after our live stream on Wednesday about the Brady gigolo thing, and
man, guys, gigolo from now on.
Gigolo.
It's hard, man. It's hard for me, especially for me that I'm really bad with names. I started a freaking controversy, statewide or countrywide when I was calling Kim Pam.
Oh, I remember. What did you call her?
I called her Pam, and I think I know why. So I run a business, right? And we put up solar panels on houses, and long story short, I had a customer whose names are Troy and Pam, and I was dealing with them earlier that week.
That shit's easy.
And so, and then the problem is once I get somebody's name wrong, that wrong name sticks with me more than the right name. I'm just doomed. It's hard.
I was calling Jaime Jamie.
Jamie. Yeah.
They're like the first time we met.
It works.
And then, y'all didn't even correct me. And then, like on my stream, I'm saying it, and I think Dan corrected me on there. Yeah. He's like, "I think it's Jaime," and I'm like, "What?" Live, I'm just like, "Well, I'm an idiot." Like, I apologize.
Like Steve, I wanted to say earlier, you know how you wanted a trike, right? So the other day, I was at work and I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was saying that I like the Honda's version of the trike, which is the Goldwing. They make the Goldwings as trikes, and we looked them up, and they're like 40,000, 45,000, right? And we were talking. One of my other coworkers, she's like, "Oh, my ex-husband used to have that." He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, he flipped over it and died." I was like,
"I love murder, dude."
I was like,
he unalived.
He unalived. She said it was on a trike, and he hit a big pothole, and he flipped out of the front. He's going too fast and cracked the helmet in pieces and unalived, man.
Well, damn, maybe
I was just kidding. I was just kidding about the unalived thing, y'all. I'll be honest. That word unalived, it's one of my pet peeves. I hate that word.
I'm not good at any of this shit, dude. Like, I can't do it. Like, it's so hard.
I remember an early stream, Stevie was reading something and he was trying to censor himself, and like the first couple of words he censored, and then he just went hard and said like some of the worst words because he was just straight up reading it.
Can't, dude. It messes up my entire flow because my brain has to shift to say that word.
Yeah,
I hate that. I hate that level of censorship because in the true crime community, we know what we're talking about. We're not being vulgar. We're not.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm being vulgar, but it's but usually what we're actually talking about makes sense to a case or something. So
yeah,
I wish there was like a different level, and I know that's silly, but in YouTube, whoever is actually looking at that content should take that into account. Like,
yeah.
Not only that, you also according to their own guidelines, if you're commentating on news and things of that nature, you shouldn't be striked or put down. And dude, it's insane. Like, for instance, we just hit 3 million views. Thank you guys in the live chat. Thank you guys.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we hit 3 million views for the year.
Holy crap.
We want to thank everybody that's helped get us there. But out of that, I want to say about half of it was probably limited. Because and then they take forever to check your stuff and whatnot, and it's frustrating sometimes.
Yep. That dentist, I did a live stream on the dentist that poisoned his wife. It took them 8 days, but they did actually, dude. I have been. They'll do the yellow money sign for me, but I've been actually getting the reviews, and they always turn it on green now. There for a while, I was like, well, shit, it's probably messed up, but I mean, maybe they're actually reviewing it and actually, because I've had 4 now I've done that with, and they've actually switched it.
Yeah, I've done them all, and they've switched them all. Like, every one of them that I've had went from yellow to green. But there's been some where we end the stream and we're like, yeah, that definitely is not gonna fly.
I'll give you a tip. I'll give you a tip because normally I get flagged within the first 3 minutes. I go in right away as my stream is going, and I already start the review process. And usually by the time I'm off air, they've already looked at it.
Nice.
We had one that was yellow.
I know automatically it's just gonna nail me, so I just wait. I have the tab up, and that's sometimes I go, I'm just gonna take care of some business, chatters. Hang on 1 second. I just do the review right away, and that's it. By the end of the stream, it's usually there.
Yeah, it's hard to, like, when I first began, like, try to keep myself from saying certain words. It's super hard, man. Like right now, it's like you can also say like Clinton or Fauci.
Oh man, there's some big trigger words.
Start the review, Danny.
Hey, you just said Fauci, bro. They're not going to turn that yellow one on this one. That's over. It's done.
But to circle back around,
I didn't say Fucci.
To circle back to your question, when did he become when did they eye him in, or was there another suspect? I think there was.
Yeah, that was
I
my
think
question.
There was a suspect. Now, the biggest piece of evidence that there was another suspect is one. Kohberger when was he in Pennsylvania? December 17th, somewhere around there, right? December 20th.
He went there for Thanksgiving too.
Right. No, he didn't go for Thanksgiving.
I think he did. Am I wrong there? I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I was thinking that he went home for Thanksgiving also, though.
No, he stayed there.
Okay.
He had a doctor's appointment. Then he had a barber's appointment.
Okay.
He did all these things. Yeah,
I do remember that.
Yeah, he goes back, right? He's over there, but according to the Airmail article, right, Chief Fry and everybody get all excited about that white Elantra that crashed in Eugene, Oregon. They know where Kohberger's at. They know that that's not his vehicle, but yet they're getting excited about that.
I do remember that.
Now, right now, after that is when they pulled the warrants for his cellular phone. That was on December 23rd. So they recognized who he was November 29th, but they didn't pull his cell phone pings until December 23rd. Now, December 20th, car crashes in Eugene. There's left behind. They're excited. December 21st comes back. It's not connected. In fact, if you go and look at the public, the press releases from the 7th to the 20th of December, there's not a press release. And the 7th is when they tell us about the white Elantra. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, after the 20th is when they start press releasing again. Right. And that's also when they start pulling the warrants for Kohberger. Why'd they wait so long? Why was it? Because they were watching this other Elantra that crashed in Eugene come back not being the car, so then they looked at the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
But everything lines up there. Like the ball didn't get rolling on Kohberger like document wise. Because as soon as until after that car in Eugene was found. Car in Eugene is found. Boom. Search warrant for the cell phone things. Boom. Pick up his trash. Boom. DNA. Boom. Arrest. All that happens.
You think that they were looking
after
at
the 20th.
As soon as they realized that truly wasn't another person, if the Kohberger and an unnamed person were both in the possible crosshairs of Moscow police.
Right.
Once they actually checked that one in Eugene, you're saying as soon as they realized that wasn't it, they went bam. It's got to be this dude.
Right, exactly. And they were looking at other people. And I think they were looking at Kohberger too. And I think this is why they lost him. Because if they had all hands on deck on Kohberger at that time, you think they would have lost his ass? Probably not. Now, if you go back and there's video of Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates when he was out there in Moscow, and he sees cars parked outside of the Sigma Chi, police cars parked outside the Sigma Chi fraternity house. I think they had their eye on several suspects. I don't think there was just one at that time.
Yeah, what's the process there? So they've got the white Elantra. They think the suspect is driving a white Elantra. So they pull a list of white Elantras in the area, probably, right? And then do they start pinging cell phone records from that point and cross-referencing those to figure out who was in the area at that time? And then that's where they create their suspect list?
No, I don't think I'm not sure if that's how it works. Like, I'm not sure you can.
Was the FBI involved at that point? Because if the FBI was, I would think probably yes.
So what you're thinking is that
because they can't
get data from the towers to see who was in the area. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't know how cell phone towers work
because they can't really say, they can't pull a list of all white Elantras within whatever year range they were looking for and just count all of those as suspects, right? They need something else to kind of cross-reference so that they can narrow the list down, make their jobs a little easier.
Right, but I mean,
we did learn how many white Elantras were in the area, like some insane amount, like
20,000. But even if they were to pull all of the cell phones that were in that area at the time, that's still a crap ton of cell phones in that area at the time.
They'd have to kind of create a list of Elantras and try to go down the line. And like you said, if all hands were on deck, that process could have gone quicker.
Once the FBI got involved, that would become a little bit easier, probably too.
And I think that the reason why the FBI and there was so much police presence is because it was a big case for a small little town, and even the governor got in. Didn't he donate like something like $1 million just to help pay for the overtime fees and everything from the state funds?
Damn, I don't remember that, but that's badass if he did.
Yeah, I remember he donated a lot of money just to keep them looking.
All right, unfortunately, this is my point where I got to drop out, but I will be back.
Hey, be safe, dude.
Be safe.
Drive safe. Yeah, be safe,
Drive safe, man.
Nice to meet you.
We'll get into Kopaka here in a little bit. I know I see it in the comments and in our chat as well.
That's a touchy subject.
Yeah,
it is.
Especially with our history, we try to stay in the neutrals.
Yeah, we got bamboozled by one of the. We'll tell everybody we got bamboozled by one of the major news publications. They came at us saying that what they tell us, like, hey, we're interested in your show, wanted to give you guys an interview, and then it started turning into they started questioning us about Kopaka, and we're like, well, we haven't even talked about Kopaka. And they're like, oh man, what do you think about because I guess one of his friends was getting upset that people were using his name and accusing him of being involved in the Idaho 4 incident. And I was just like, I told him straight up, I was like, man, I haven't seen anything that ties him to it at that time. I still really don't, outside of the fact that the outcome of his circumstance is kind of suspicious.
Yeah,
but
that's all we got. Is it's weird.
Yeah. There's a weird circumstance around the corner there, but I haven't seen anything of physical proof that he knew Kohberger or anything like that, right? And so that's basically what we told him. We're like, yeah, we're not, familiar.
Not just going to attack him publicly for no reason.
Yeah. But I did say, I was like, but the guy did threaten to take his roommates out, and so. It's in the news commentary about that. is going to be brought up. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
I think they called it defamation of character or something, that we were doing it. Like, we never mentioned that name once.
But we brought him up, but I don't remember if we had brought him up at that point.
No,
we sure did afterwards.
Afterwards we did.
Yeah, I think the only time he came up was when we had the caller.
Yeah. And the caller brought the name up.
Yeah, we're like, we had a caller bring it up, and I was like, but yeah, I mean, I was like, I don't know what tree y'all trying to jump up on, but it is what it is.
We might come out in one of these big news places.
Yeah, they're going to be looking at us in the wrong light, but it's
that Kopaka incident is still under investigation, under an active investigation right now.
So we had a caller, and we'll talk about Kopaka real quick. I did have a caller. He said that he brought up some good points. He goes, where are the victims that he attempted that he threatened?
Dude, I've heard that, and I have the same question. Like, that's kind of weird, right? Like, we haven't seen or heard them at all.
We haven't seen that. We haven't seen anything about any images, any pictures.
Yeah. Another thing that's weird too is if you try to get the public records request, and I dropped that link in the chat, they are denying it. They're not releasing anything from that incident. It's strange.
There's too many sketchy things going on, man.
What you said? Sketchy D?
Yeah.
No, sketchy things.
Oh yeah. I thought. Yeah, it's weird.
So we got Charlie Mag. Sorry about that. With a $10 super chat, says, do we know what the DoorDash car was? Maybe BK used burner for DoorDash, so there would be another vehicle caught on camera to distract while he's parked in the back. We'll get into that in just a second. Thank you for your $10 super chat. We appreciate that.
That's the second time that he donated. She donated $5 earlier.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I see it right here. Thank you so much. Well, you know what? Let's get into that right now. What are you guys' thoughts on the DoorDash involvement? And we'll go backwards this time. Brian, what are your thoughts about the DoorDash involvement?
I don't know. I mean, I've had some weird theories on it. I've been called on my channel about it. I think we all talked about, I just throw ideas out on my channel just to give people kind of peace of mind, things to think about. I don't say it's a solid theory that I'm like, he was the DoorDash. That's not what I do on my channel. So I just threw out maybe, in the ether, maybe he was a DoorDash driver, because the way that I looked at it, being pulled over 12 times in and around that house before the murders, within 2 weeks, he was pulled over, a mile out from the house. College kids need money. And I just had that theory. Maybe he was DoorDashing to find his victims or find, I threw that out there. There's the other theory out there that maybe he called the DoorDash driver as a distraction to get there and get access to the house. I mean, those are some of the things that have been thrown around too. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just a weird case. Every time you try to dig another angle, something different happens or another piece of information comes out. So it's just strange.
Yeah, I'm definitely weird on the DoorDash thing, because my question is really like, and I've heard like both arguments and even the burner phone argument. Mm-hmm. Like, even if he had a burner phone, like, he would still have to have an actual account that's going to be funding money through an actual bank account. Like, he's going to have an ID associated to the account. Like how am I, like, honestly, I'm really just trying to figure out, how could he be the DoorDasher? Like,
I think the only, I think the only other thing that I've heard, and I'm going to try to recall here, I remember reading something on like Reddit or something, and they were talking about the actual DoorDash app. So if you download it, you can tell where a DoorDash is actually going in that specific area. Like, it won't tell you the address, but it will give you kind of a specific area to where it would, be going. So I've heard things like that too. Maybe he was using the app, and it's just really weird. Like I said, every time I hear something, there's something different that comes up.
Yeah. When I did a reaction video to the Crime Circus video that came out. Mm-hmm. And like, somebody in chat had me thinking, and like, the one thing that did like sort of ring a bell, and it would be just complete chaotic, like, coincidence, but Kohberger's already coming. He's already in the move. He's already in the area, and a DoorDasher actually is there to deliver food. Yep. And he says, hey, you know, that's my food. And then he just continues. I mean, that'd be the craziest thing ever, but he just goes up to the door, right? He's like, hey, here's your food, and then just bust his way in.
Yeah, the only other thing that I thought could be too, and I thought you were going to just go here with this, say he's on his way to allegedly kill these people, and ironically a DoorDasher shows up at the same time. That's why he turns and does all that kind of weird turning.
That makes way more sense.
And he's waiting for that car to leave, and then and then he sees the car, maybe sees the food delivery there's my.
You see somebody walking up to the door, and he's already like, oh shit, like.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna take the easy way out and say that. It's like I think it was just pure coincidence.
Sure.
And he turned around.
And it could be like because I don't think it's that odd that the DoorDashers there. They're probably there all the time during that period of time. Like bars let out at 3, and I know that they weren't coming in that late, but just an average DoorDasher would probably be in that area at that point in time.
Yeah.
But the weird part is a murderer coming through. So
sure.
But that would, I mean, dude, it's not out of the realm of possibility. And dude, us all looking into true crime, all these crazy cases we see daily, we're just being bombarded with them.
Mm-hmm.
The craziest circumstances are coming out in these things that make you go, that you would only see that in a movie, but it's actually happening.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I think it was a coincidence. I think, a lot of people order at time. There's times that we order stuff at work at 3 or 4 in the morning. And at first I want to say DoorDash, y'all suck, because it was one night we were hungry, man. They canceled twice on us. We waited like an hour and canceled. All right.
Because we're not getting sponsored by them, though.
Yeah, man. I had to go raid the vending machine.
And I will say, I have no experience with. I've ordered DoorDash, of course, but I have no experience with like the app. Like that's my only real question is like, if you had a second phone, like how could you make that work? How you have to have your. Like, unless you are doing some, I mean, I guess there's some deep scam shit he could be doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Could be, but
he's a criminologist, so.
Yeah, you're gonna have to leave some digital trail behind.
And I just want to say, this is as a Puki Madulu. Dave's not here, man. Dave's not here.
I saw that. That's awesome.
That's funny. I have a theory on it all completely. And I think I know what it was. So, remember when, and it kind of alludes to what Blue just said too. Remember when they had the body cam footage across the street there, the drunk kids walking around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you could see in the background the lights turn off around 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Here's my theory. The PCA says she received her order at around approximately 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she ordered it at 4 or whatever, right? She received it. Is it possible that she ordered it way earlier, got a couple people to cancel it, fell asleep, it was left outside, and that's the reason why Kohberger was circling around? There was a DoorDash order outside the door there, right?
Yeah.
So he goes there, sees the food outside, circles around, waits till the food goes inside. She comes in. I'm going to remove us real quick. Comes in, opens up the bag, right? Tosses it over here because it's been out in the cold for a while because she fell asleep, woke up at 4 o'clock, pulled it in, took whatever out, a piece out that was cold, threw it up against here, knocked over this pot, picked up the pot. It's late. Didn't clean up the mess and just tossed it back there. And went to lay down around 4:05, and Kohberger doesn't see the bag outside no more. Sees the lights turned off. It's time to go in. 4:08, 4:09.
Possibility.
That makes sense. I mean,
on the affidavit, it says that she received her order at 4. What is it? 4:20? No,
4:02.
No, it said at approximately 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Okay.
They're saying Kohberger, and then what? She was on TikTok at what, 4:12?
Yeah.
She's awake now. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Because in the affidavit it says she received her order, so are they assuming it was her that ordered it, or they're just, is it common practice just to assume that it was hers, or they know for a fact that it was hers? Because I think they would have mentioned it, but they would have said like, oh, she received an order from DoorDash, not just say, oh, she received her order. So I'm guessing they know it was her that she ordered it. Right?
They'll definitely know because they'll be able, because they'll have her phone. Like they'll be able to see, if that was ordered.
Yeah. Daniel, can you pull that picture up again? I just want to take note of something.
Yeah.
Just want to throw this around and see what everybody thinks on the panel. Okay, so you look at the bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, the seal's been broken on that bag.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would they not take that for evidence and dust that maybe for a fingerprint or DNA or anything? I mean, you don't know who actually broke the seal on that bag.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, the affidavit says that they know that the DoorDash guy came in because he reported it himself. At the time of this picture, they may not have known that.
Sure.
They may not have known that this was a recent DoorDash order.
I don't know. But I mean, I feel like they should have
Definitely would have taken that though.
You know what I mean?
Because the DoorDasher came out after the fact that basically was just trying to clear his name because he knew that they'd probably found him, right?
Yeah.
Remember, there is an unidentified
first person they
DoorDasher
come after is me.
Come out. So.
Remember in the beginning, our theories was that whoever broke in, and we didn't know it was Bryan yet, broke into that window because they knocked that pot over. So that was our theory in the beginning too.
Oh, and there was the ladder theory too. That there was a ladder on the side of the house. I heard about that too. There was a ladder theory.
We
might have created that theory.
Did you guys see the recent video of I think it was on News Nation? They actually got up and close to the house. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
They got access to it. It's pretty crazy.
No,
I mean, it's kind of like a time capsule.
Well, they got access, and then they got their access restricted right away.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Something happened where, like, right away, like, not even, I guess they did the recording, and then, like, the next day, their names off the list, because I guess there was a list of people who would actually check it out.
It's funny. They'll let them up to do that, but they want to tear that house down really quick, don't they?
Very quick. Too quick.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. I've never seen this before.
Find something? Dun, dun, dun.
Is it a new...
Yeah, so I'm going through the search warrant that they sent out for. This was the warrant for Bryan Kohberger's arrest warrant, in Pennsylvania. And right here it says who the private party is. A private party, Eric Grower, reported that he provided a ride to Goncalves and Mogen at approximately 1:56 a.m. from downtown Moscow to the King Road residence. I never saw this part.
I didn't either.
Well, I don't remember that either.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Right under our nose.
Yeah, it's been there this whole time. I wonder who Eric.
I just read an
Grower is.
article with that guy, and they didn't even give his name out in the article where he was basically saying, like, I gave him a ride and he'd given him rides many times before that. Like,
let me do some Googling, see if I can come up with.
Yeah, see what you can find.
Can you spell his last name again?
Grower, Grower.
The chat probably already knows.
Blue knows all about Grower.
Yeah.
All right, DoorDash order at the residence was at approximately 4 a.m.
All right, he's got a LinkedIn account.
No, the saying is, I'm a grower, not a shower. No, wait, that's not what we're talking about. My bad. Sorry, guys.
DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. So it says right here. This is the exception of everybody was asleep in their rooms at approximately 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Kernodle, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m.
The chat is buzzing.
What's it called? Do they have anything with the was it like an Uber that took him home or?
yeah, here's the article that I found the other day.
Yeah, this is that.
This is the guy that I think that's the same guy right here.
Let's see.
He lived 1,200 feet from my door. Driver who brought Idaho victims home the night they were killed is exceptionally glad about the suspect's arrest. An article's from January 6th.
Oh, damn. Yeah, so
we're slipping.
I'm gonna have to reread this because if they're putting in some extra stuff in there, you know what I mean? I think everybody assumed that it was all the same stuff. And so,
weird case.
Yeah, Eric Grower. So we found something. We found something interesting there. But yeah, to me, I think that the DoorDash thing may have been the reason why Kohberger was circling around.
Yeah.
Whether there was lights inside the house waiting for the DoorDash guy or something to that nature. But I think that's the reason why he circled around. And I have a theory as to why. Let me pull this up. Where are my? Hold on. Let me try.
Let me see if I can find that thing about the DoorDash.
Yeah, with the DoorDash though, I saw Steve, didn't you put out a video where there was a website that actually said that they identified him and cleared him?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get to my
No, I'm talking about the app, the actual app. What you can see on the app. I had some information about it. Let's see what I got. Oh, you got a map.
Yeah.
You got everything pinged out.
I got to get the maps going.
I know.
Dude, first time I found Drunk Turkey Show, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I still can't do the maps, bro. Like,
it's tough. I can't figure it out either.
It can be challenging.
It's a dark web.
It's the dark web.
Like, I'm just not. I even like sat one day at work and I'm like, I'm gonna see what I can figure out here. And I'm sure I could Google it and really put some. But I was like, all right, and I just got frustrated.
Yeah, then he asked me one time, he's like, "Hey, can you give me a picture of like a certain address?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me get on my laptop." My laptop almost exploded because it couldn't handle it.
Hey, Sandra Williams, what's going on?
What's going on? What is going on? Let's see. So here's where the house is, right? And I've been watching a couple other shows, and they had a couple questions, and this is my little theory that I got going on, and I'd like your guys' opinion on it. So remember how, all right, first and foremost, he's seen over here at his, off of North or Nevada Street, right? Like at 253. And then he's heading towards our SR 270 towards Moscow at that time at 253. And so he should have been here probably around 305, right? 310, the latest. But he doesn't go straight there. The first time he's seen the corner of the PCA is at 326, way out here, right? And the 700 block of Indian Hills Drive. Now, I think I figured out why. I think he was going straight here, but he saw those kids and the officer pulled over. And so that spooked him. Yeah, he saw the car, saw them pulled over because they were out there till about 316. I think he comes back around here at 326 to come check out the police station that's right here to see if that silver car is back at the station. The unmarked car that was parked right out there in front. So you can see the police station right
there.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, yeah, once he sees that vehicle's parked there, he's like, all right, it's time. It's go time. And then he's seen right here at 328. And then a minute later in front of the residence.
I don't know. That's he must have some nerve of steel, man, for him to see a police officer questioning the college people and then still go and commit this crime.
Well,
if that's the case, you know.
You think he was taking any kind of like nerve suppressant drugs? Like, have you guys ever heard about that with like criminals? Like specifically, there's a story there was these bank robbers in California that were just nailing banks, and they would take like this nerve type drug that would like suppress, their energy or basically the nervousness and them basically getting freaking the fuck out, and they'd be basically pretty calm and like they were pretty successful. Like,
yeah. How about Adderall? Pop a bunch of Adderall.
Well, the thing about him though is he put on some forums that he doesn't have emotions. He doesn't feel anything.
Yeah, that's true too. He's talked about that.
And so, he's seen in a lot of pressure moments. Like let's just say, he's allegedly committed this crime, right? So let's just say he did, right? He gets pulled over twice in Indiana. Doesn't go on a chase, doesn't leave, doesn't do anything. Cool, calm, collective. Is standing there, talks to them, maybe perhaps, doesn't like what his father has to say. Maybe his father says too much, but he doesn't lose his cool. He's not there. He's not sweating his ass off.
Right.
I've gone up to a window where somebody would be nervous because they have something. It doesn't look like what Kohberger looked like. You get what I'm saying? I don't think those officers picked up on it. And also, I don't think it was planned to pull him over.
Yeah.
Main reason is, what's that, Blue?
I thought they said it was planned to pull him over to check.
No. They said it wasn't. There's been speculation that it was, but I don't think it was. Go ahead, Jaime.
What's it called? Like, yeah, you're saying that he was real calm, considering that that they pulled him over twice, right? And if he knew that he had left that sheath behind, I don't think he would have been that calm.
Yeah, especially that second pullover, right? The first one, maybe, oh shit, the second one, 10 minutes later, it's like, oh wait, like
something's up, right?
And for me, you got to look at the actions of the officer. All right, put yourself in that officer's shoes. If you're walking up to a possible quadruple homicide suspect, are you going to be that relaxed? You're going to have your hands inside his car, just talking to him like it's a good old day?
That's true.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna be on alert. This is, this guy. There's the possibility that this guy who's already committed a crime where he's taken the lives of multiple people.
Yeah.
What makes you think he's not going to take your life?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And especially now that he's probably put in a position where it could be his freedom taken away. And so you don't go up to those type of situations as relaxed as that officer is.
Yeah, because we could see the body cam footage and the car footage. So
right.
We saw exactly how he approached that vehicle. And he was, for everything you're saying and all accounts of approaching a murderer's car, he was pretty damn relaxed. Like, that's a very good point.
And that's why a lot of us feel that, it wasn't planned to pull him over because of the way the officer was acting when they pulled over Bryan Kohberger.
I never even thought about that. I've literally never even crossed my mind. That's why this rules, right? Like it could kind of mix everything together. Like,
and bouncing ideas, especially with folks that are like with me, Hyman, Blue. We actually come up with like a lot of our best freaking ideas off camera and shit. Like,
exactly, like we end the live and they're like, there's a floodgate of like just ideas, and I'm like, dude, we should have waited for this.
For sure, man. So hold on. I gotta switch off to the other side. So real quick, y'all, the rest of the night, the chat will be members only.
Wait, does that mean that the giveaways gonna come up?
Yeah, the giveaway is gonna be here pretty soon. Let me hold on.
And sorry guys, they're not giving me away tonight, so sorry.
Yeah, Big Blue was hoping. But yeah, I think I saw in the live chat that somebody said that they wanted us to do some calendars. Big Blue has like
those would sell
like a plethora of calendars going back 3 years. If you're interested in some of those retro
panoramic.
And so it is now members only.
I think the ones I'm at the beach are the best,
Oh,
yeah.
For who, man?
You guys have a killer opening to your show.
Oh, thank
I really
you.
dig the opening.
Thank
you. It gets the vibe. Like you get the vibe immediately. You know what you're getting. Like it's gonna you're getting crime, you're getting fucking facts, but you guys also have like a killer, like just easy going, chill mood going on here, and I'll dig it, man.
Dude, it took like 30 takes for Blue to get those dance moves down.
Hey. There you go.
You're busting them out, bro.
But real quick, here in probably in about 15 minutes or so, we're going to be doing a giveaway, and this is what we're going to be giving away, guys. We're going to be giving away a drunk turkey tumbler,
nice,
and a sticker, right? Jaime, is that right?
I put like 2 or 3 of them in there.
Oh, nice. So let's watch this real quick, and this is what we're giving away. I don't know if there's noise to this or not.
I'm sure there is, but I don't think it's all copyrighted.
Oh yeah, then that's probably. Oh yeah, it was definitely copyrighted because it totally hit me with the bass in the ear. So we'll be giving away that tumbler. It's pretty cool. It's green with the drunk turkey logo all over it.
30 ounce
to a member. It's a 30 ouncer, and so if and like I told everybody else, if you don't need a tumbler, you can fill it up with wax. It works great as a candle. You could use it for multiple things, multi-purpose.
Yeah.
They're so rare. We don't even have any, so that's how rare they are, guys.
Yeah, that was the first
one of
prototype.
One. That's one of one.
The prototype. Oh man, so So what do you guys think? Do you think Kohberger did this? What are your thoughts? You think he's guilty? You think he's innocent? We'll start off with you, Brian. And we'll go backwards. Brian, Steve,
let's put me on the spot first. I have to say that as much as there's been a lot of what I'm seeing, maybe some F-ups in the investigation, I still think that the evidence is pointing towards him. I feel like they have the right guy. I think it's going to be, like I said, as the time goes on, I wish we could just jump to the case and start getting this rolling in court, because it just seemingly in between this time now, we're seeing all these other little things that are popping up, and it's making me nervous.
Yeah.
I think that I felt for a while the defense was going to have their hands full, but I'm starting to feel like the prosecution may have their hands full here because there's a lot of stuff that's coming out. But I do feel like, that they have, I think they have the right guy. I do. So
that's about where I'm at. I feel like they got the right guy, but yeah, if the further away court is and the more little things like this drop,
not good.
I mean, like I was just saying, dude, I mean, 2 days ago, I have way less confidence now in this entire thing than I did 2 days ago. But personally, in my heart of hearts and everything that we can see, I feel like they do have the guy. But yeah, the longer we go, how much more of this is going to just creep out, right? Little things that can actually be problems or issues, and which, I mean, I guess they're going to come out regardless, but it's frustrating because we're stuck in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Throwing the Hail Mary.
He is the football. Daniel is the football.
We got a 550 super chat here saying just because I like a Cowboys avatar and Steelers Nation. I got my boys with me, bro. I got my boys with me. That's all I got to say. Thank you for your support, buddy.
Yeah.
They got rules.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel there's enough evidence to know that he's the perpetrator. But I do see how the defense has a lot of ammo they can use to deter. You know what I mean? Whatever the prosecution has, the defense has a lot also to back up, because especially it's pretty shoddy the police work they did in the beginning. From the beginning, we can see a police officer in there with no booties, no gloves, nothing. They're using the stools to secure the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just
that early footage, dude. Yeah, from outside, like you can see them walking around, like
that, and I think the prosecution is gonna have a field day with the witnesses. With Dylan, you know what I mean? Especially on the statements you had.
Yeah. What about you, Big Blue? What are your thoughts? You think he's guilty? You think he's innocent?
I think he's guilty. But there is some of those troubling little things that are popping up here and there that are just like, will he get a mistrial? Will he? I don't want him to, because it sounds like he did it, but I don't know.
So,
if there's a mistrial or if he gets off, that's going to be solely on the law enforcement part, man.
I mean, what if we get there and that, like, Ann Taylor starts really making us believe that he didn't do this? Like, that could happen. Like, I mean, I know there's already a camp online that doesn't think he did it, and I almost feel like they're being more sensationalized when they say that. But what if we really start rolling? I mean, I was mixed up with everybody on the Murdaugh shit. So what if we actually really get rolling and start, the differing opinions, you think it's crazy now. It's going to get wild probably then if Ann Taylor starts kicking some real ass.
Yeah. Exactly.
The thing you want to keep in mind too, and I'm sorry, Daniel, because you're getting ready to talk.
No, you're fine.
But I think the thing that everybody on the panel and I think in the audience that needs to keep in mind too, one, we haven't seen the digital forensics of everything in intricacy yet. We haven't let that out. So there's going to be a lot of information there, as we saw in the Murdaugh case. I mean, they had that guy down to literally like inches of where he was with all his pings and his motions through his cell phone. The other thing too is we don't know about the processing of the car yet. So that's going to be, if that could be a mobile crime scene. There could be a lot of DNA in that car. We don't know yet. And those are the two outstanding questions for me right now. That's going to be the big things. If they find nothing in either of those two parts, he's going to walk.
Yep.
He's going to walk.
Yeah. For me, there's a lot of things in this case that I can't look past both sides, right? And thank you for that last super chat. Steelers for life, for sure, man. appreciate your support, but yeah, for sure. For me, when you look at Kohberger's activity that night, and the way the prosecution is going to want you to look at it as well, is they're going to want you to take a step back and look at the entire case, and say, all right, Kohberger and the defense team are going to want us to believe that it's just a coincidence that Kohberger followed these girls online, had pictures of one on his phone, multiple pictures of one on his phone, had been in this area 12 times prior to the incident, had his phone off during the commission of the crime, but was mobile before and after the commission of the crime. And he has a vehicle matching the description of the vehicle seen in the footage, and he matches the height and weight description from the witness inside the house. So that's what they're going to want us to see and say. Also, not to mention, they got his DNA on the sheath, right? And so that's the way the prosecution is going to want us to look at it. And when you look at those things as a total, it's kind of hard to say it's not him, right? Now, the defense is going to attack every one of those pieces separately, right? One, and first and foremost, there's going to be some information that we may never be privileged to see. Like, for instance, that cell phone data that you speak of.
Yeah.
Reason being is, did they have enough to get a warrant for it? And if they didn't, we're kind of screwed, because based on the probable cause affidavit and what we know on what they're saying as to how they got it from Kohberger having a vehicle matching the vehicle that they saw on CCTV. They're going by his height and weight, and they're going by an investigation into his background, right? And something that he said on Reddit. But the thing is, even in that aspect of the affidavit, and I'll bring it up. I'll see if I can find that part.
I just want to say thank you for, is it Janice Studdard? Except the ping they don't want to count. That's pretty suspicious. You find that suspicious?
Yeah, that's true too. There's some pings in there that they don't want to count. There's more than one, I think.
I was going to ask y'all. In other cases, homicides like this, they usually always release the 911 call. Why do you think it hasn't been released yet?
Yeah, they're hiding that.
I have no idea, man.
What could it be? Something really, really important on that?
I can't wait to hear that, dude. I think it's going to be interesting. The 911 call, the body cam footage when it actually does come out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it'll be, hopefully it'll be edited, but actually seeing the footsteps would be interesting. I think.
I mean,
just read about it.
Yeah, even if you let's talk about the Tennessee, school shooting, right? Look how fast that body came out.
Oh, dude, that night, right?
That same night, like hours later.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why that's taken. I don't know. I'm guessing there's something so important, critical for the trial that they're not going to release it anytime soon, right?
Yeah. And you're right. That aspect of it not being released is really, really, that's really weird, man. It shouldn't be that way. And for your comment there, how to join, I pinned it up. It's also in the description of every video. And so let me show you guys this. This is what it says, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. The $5 super chat's a really good point too. I just saw that.
It says here, based on information provided on WSU website, Kohberger is a current PhD student in criminology at Washington State University. Pursuant to records provided by a member of the interview panel for the Pullman Police Department, we learned that Kohberger's past education included undergraduate degrees in psychology and cloud-based forensics. These records also show Kohberger wrote an essay when he applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall of 2022. Kohberger wrote in his essay that he had an interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies in how to better collect and analyze technological data in public safety operations. Kohberger also posted a Reddit survey, which can be found by an open source internet search. The survey asked for participants to provide information to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. And that part is important because it's put into the affidavit specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it says here, as a part of this investigation, law enforcement obtained a search warrants to determine the cellular devices that utilize cell towers in close proximity, King Road residence, on November 13th between 3 and 5 a.m. After determining that Kohberger was associated both with the white Elantra and that phone, investigators reviewed search warrant warranties, a query. These returns did not show that he was utilizing services because his phone was off at the time. And so it was based off of this investigation that went into his Reddit stuff. Now, he was, at the time when he did that Reddit thing, was into sales as a criminology major, as also in psychology. I think that those type of questions and those type of things that he's researching and looking up would be what you would expect to find, don't you think, in somebody with those studies?
Yeah, no, they make sense. Like, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Like, if we're going to be Googling, like in the true crime community, we're going to be Googling all kinds of wild ass shit, right? Looking into cases, looking up stuff, lots of weird words, lots of weird terms. I mean, he's becoming a criminologist. Like, this is his future. Like, I mean, as weird as I think it actually is, when you really break it down with what he's doing and what, you know, the studies that he's doing, it isn't as weird, honestly. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's something you would expect. And so, is that enough to go get a warrant to violate this person's privacy, to see where he was throughout his last couple of weeks? I don't think it is. And if it's not, right, if it's not, then if that gets thrown out, then we'll never know what's on his phone. We'll never know. A lot of that stuff won't come out.
Yeah. I just want to know the $5 super chat. I mean, I don't remember. They did bag him. No, right. That's right. Okay. I wasn't sure of that.
Yeah, they did bag the hands. That's standard operation to do so in this type of situation. But here's the thing, though. There's been a lot of reports about Kohberger. Students that have come out, talked about him, a barber / hairdresser, and some medical staff, right? He went and maintained his routine physical at a doctor's appointment a couple days after the incident.
So, Dan,
welcome back.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Dan?
Got beer this time.
Nice. what kind of beer is that?
You're on a beer run.
Devil's Backbone 16-point Imperial IPA. I think I've had it several times on our show.
EPUS.
It's called EPA here. Those are EPUs.
EPA. The EPA, I forgot. Yeah.
And so, I don't know, man. I mean, nobody talks about him being scratched up.
But yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But yet they're saying that Xana put up a fight.
Right.
But I mean, that's the thing that's starting to get me. And then there's been a lot of reports that he was up throughout the night cleaning and doing all sorts of things. Right. If he was doing that before this incident, and he was, that's just the type of person he was. He was up all night cleaning, doing all those type of things,
bagging trash separately.
Right. If he's OCD or has some sort
that does go to OCD, right? Like,
right. If he has some sort of OCD. Blue, you're probably the only person close enough, to know this question. But would a person with OCD be able to commit a crime as messy and bloody as this?
Yeah, they definitely would. Because they'd probably be worried a little bit when it comes to the cleanup, but sometimes those people are freaking crazy and like snap. They snap for no reason.
You've seen the movie American Psycho, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
He had OCD.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah. What's it called? I think the OCD for some people is mostly about routine. That's what I think. And I'm sure someone can go and do this kind of crime and not worry, because OCD is not really about being scared of germs. It's more about having a routine and having stuff the way that they're supposed to be. You know what I mean?
I could see the possibility of maybe the mess though, like the actual after you're in it, right? And then they're gonna have an OCD freak out in the middle of that mess after the murder. Like,
yeah.
All of a sudden, they just have to start getting a sponge and they're cleaning up the fucking blood, like right there. Like,
anybody think he wore a suit? Anybody think he wore like one of those?
You know what?
The white suits? Yeah.
Well, not white, but maybe a black suit. You know, like a
that's what I was
like
asking.
coveralls.
I've mentioned
like
it before.
Dickies
Did he go
coverall
in
or something?
full Dextered out? Like,
Yeah.
That's what I was when they found the receipt at his apartment, I believe, and it had Dickies.
Yeah, I wonder if it was a full jumper.
And I was saying, Danny's like, if it's dark, like you can't see blood on that, and plus, like Dickies is really stain resistant. Like it won't stain as fast as it would. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I want to thank Terry Lee and the Michigo 29.
Michigan.
Thank you.
And there was a $2 super chat before that from True Crime with Cafe with Daga. He says, don't forget BK Cell was logged into their Wi-Fi. I don't know if that's true. I know that Steve Goncalves said that his cell phone touched their router or something of that nature.
The Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
Well, no.
It's connected to the Bluetooth speaker.
I don't know if it did or not. They took the Bluetooth speaker in as evidence, but nobody's said whether or not. There's been a lot of speculation because they collected it that there could be something connected there. But I don't think if there's actually anything there that says his phone connected to it. Steve Goncalves said that his phone touched their router, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. I see it now. Wi-Fi. Yep.
But the problem with that is, like, I'm not sure if that's accurate because the router, and we looked this up, the way the router works is it broadcasts the ability to connect to it. It doesn't look for items to connect to. And so once you have your device that connects to the router, and then you have either a password or whatever to get connected to it, right? And so it'll take a documentation of those IP address or phone numbers or whatever, those devices that have connected to it, but not that those devices that had the ability to connect to it, because it doesn't know, right? Unless you connect to it. And so Steve's been wrong on not so much wrong, but like has said some things that weren't accurate before. Like, for instance, he came out with the it was on Banfield. They talked about the 911 call, that it was somebody running outside fainting, and somebody picked up the phone and called 911 at the time, and that's where the unconscious person came from. According to Ashley Banfield, that was from the Goncalves family, right? But that's not what happened, from my understanding. From my understanding is a neighbor was called, and the neighbor came in and used one of the roommates' phones after he discovered the body of Ethan and Xana, right? And so we have a couple of super chats. Let's talk. We have Kim K with the 199, and then we have Janet with a question. FBI 499 super chat says FBI started profilers by interviewing convicts who'd been convicted of horrific crimes. Bryan was using the same technique. Not weird. Yeah.
I find it weird that they went straight to that point. You know what I mean? To interview other convicts and see what they were thinking. Because like even when it comes down, remember, I don't know if you remember Gary Ridgway. What's it called? The Green River Killer.
Right.
They interviewed Ted Bundy to get some, like, to profile the serial killer. At the time, they didn't know that was Gary Ridgway, but like it took them like a year to do that. So like I just find it weird that they jumped straight to, asking other convicts about the situation.
Yeah. Well, right. unless they see the similarities between the other type of SKs that are out there. For instance, we saw the connection between BTK as far as 28. Mm-hmm. BTK was 28. The first family he went at, or the first, I think it was 4 victims was the first time, he went after a family of 4, and then you have 4 here. And then you have a sorority house, that's Ted Bundy.
Yep.
You have certain things. The fact that he was going to be a police officer, what is that, Golden State? And so there was a lot of different possibilities there that he was connected or tied to, or you would assume that maybe perhaps the person that did this studied serial killers, right?
Yeah.
And Potts comes in with a $2 super chat asking, was his phone was off, how did he hit the router? The assumption is that his phone was on airplane mode, then it possibly could have, but that's an assumption also, that his phone
wasn't it saying that
was
it had
on
hit the
airplane
router
mode
previously, like in previous times him stalking the house?
That's what he was referring to. Yeah,
right.
that he had been close enough to touch the routers. What
right.
he said. And so Kim K comes in, says there are different forms of OCD. I just wanted to add that to this conversation.
Yep.
Thank you. AZ with a $5 super chat. Members only mode is for the birds, and I don't like that kind of tweeting.
What's up, AZ?
All right, so Queen of the People comes in with a $5 super chat saying, "Is growing y'all's beard like when girls decide to grow their badge?" Big Blue, what is it like to grow your badge? I'm just playing, Blue. Don't kill me. But what? So guys, what is?
I was answering. It gets itchy.
I love you, Blue.
A little sweaty.
You gotta work through that first month.
Oh man. So we'll go around table. We'll start off with Dan. What was your decision to grow your beard?
Oh God, I don't.
This is what I came here for.
Yeah, I actually just started growing my beard. 2020, I think.
Dan used to be a clean face boy.
Yeah, I used to. It would get like 5 o'clock shadow, a little scruff, and then I'd shave it off. Actually, my wife hates beards, which was a big part of that. But yeah, around 2020, the pandemic started happening. I was working from home. I work at a bank, by the way, so that's kind of staying clean. It's kind of something that you do when you work at a bank. But working from home, I started wearing my hair down, drew my beard out, just looking rough, man. And I liked it. I like the way the beard looks, so I've kept it.
Nice. What about you, Brian? When did you start growing out your beard? What made you decide?
So I always, through my life, had like a goatee. And then in 2015, I was like, maybe I'll start experimenting with growing a beard. And I went through kind of like different lengths, but I lost my hair. So you got to kind of neutralize that. And I did hold on to I'll be honest with you. I held on to my hair, and then the stress of the pandemic made it like worse. Like my hair fell out because I was just stressed out. I was out of work and we didn't know what was going to happen, and that accelerated it. And I literally lost my hair during pandemic.
Wow.
So I just decided I would grow it and then cut it, and I go, shit, I should have never cut it. And last August I started, and I'm gonna try to do a full year this year without cutting it. So.
Yeah, you got a badass beard, dude.
Yeah,
thick.
No,
you got that like
good,
real man chin.
Yeah,
like that's the way it should actually look. Like mine's mostly shit. Like it's long, but yours is actually the shape. Like yours is actually the real shape.
What about you, Steve? When did you
I
start
have not
growing
had a
it?
clean face since 2005.
That's awesome.
If you look at a picture of me from 2005 to now, I look like a time traveler. I've literally not changed in 17 years. My hair, I haven't cut my hair since 2005. I just keep it up in a bun. Like,
I wish
I've saved. I could not imagine how much money on barbers.
That's why you just shave it and then that's it.
I'm in the same boat as Brian, but I'm not pulling my hat off. Hyman, what made you decide to grow yours out, and how long has it been?
Well, a long time ago, I had the goatee and everything going on too, and then like I started gaining a lot of weight, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna grow my beard so I can hide the cheeks. So like if y'all think I'm ugly right now, you should have seen me before. It was hard, but like my beard doesn't grow like Brian's and stuff. I mean. Honestly, like, you know who Taylor Maine is?
Who?
He plays Michael Myers. He's the character of Michael Myers. He has the same beard. He kind of looks like Brian.
Oh yeah.
But just a lot older, But yeah, like
kind of 9.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, if you think I'm ugly now, you should have seen me when I had a goatee. I had I tried to grow it for a long time, but like I have sensitive skin, so it was a pain in the ass, man. But like once it grew, I didn't want to cut it.
Yeah, kind of like what you said too. Mine was double chin. Hides the double chin.
Yeah, I'm hiding mine right here.
Yeah,
it's under there.
That's
what about you, Blue?
Part of the beard.
I think I did mine in protest because I got tired of wearing those damn N95s. When we first got to work and the pandemic started, where I work, I had to get a respirator clearance, so I had to shave it off. I shaved it off, and I looked like I was 19 again. Like like a kid. Like everybody, like that's when I got my own Facebook, and everybody's like, "Man, you haven't changed a bit." It's like, no, I shaved my beard off. So I'm not looking 19 again, so I had to let it grow because people can't. It's funny when I'm at work, right, and when I trim it, it gets lower, and people always call me sweetie, and I'm like 5 years older than them. I was like, damn, I look that young when I shave it off.
It's the cheeks, bro. It's the cheeks.
Yeah.
And so for me, I've tried to grow it out, guys. Like I've had it, but when I started growing out, I start to look like that one phase in Tim Allen's Santa Claus where he's in the middle. Like he's not yet Santa Claus. He's kind of plump, and then it does this. It curls out.
There was a weird period because I would do trim it sometimes, and I'll get it kind of lower and let it regrow. But like, there's a weird period to get it like to here to get through. Like it really sucks. Like it's an awkward ass period that lasts at least a month before you can kind of start shaping it a little better. I hate that period. That's the period I think you're talking about. Like I hate it.
Yeah, because it came out like looked like one of those like old president's wigs upside down on the face.
So, it curls under your chin.
Yeah, it just kind of does this, and then I have like a cow lick, so like part of my face looked like it wanted to be emo, the other part didn't. It was weird, man. And so and then it would start to bug me, and then I screwed up. I went to this barber down the street, right? And they ended up doing the sides like way too low, and I looked really stupid, and like no ends. I don't know, man. I look like maybe I could have starred in a Spanish soap opera or something. But
I heard that you were growing it because you said you weren't going to cut it until the Steelers won the Super Bowl.
Nah, dude, I'd be like down on my legs, bro.
Who was that guy that went away and fell asleep forever? Shit, I can't remember his name, but he come up with a beard like that.
Yeah. Let's see. We have Darlene Smith with a 550. Became a new member tonight. All these guys are awesome. No BS. Love the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
And then
Chat's
we saw another one. Yeah. We have another one. Oh, Big Blue.
This is Leticia Agueda. Says, hey, ZZ Top is coming to San Antonio soon. Maybe y'all can join them.
Rip Van Winkle.
I would love to join them on stage, you know?
So yeah. I think the chat is ready, man.
Yeah.
The chat is ready. Should we do our giveaway real quick?
Number 1 for yes and 2 for no.
You guys ready? You guys ready
Tumbler
for the Tumbler? Get the Tumbler going. Let's see. Man, I don't remember if I put a shot in here, so I might make this a double
shot.
It was the first one.
Shot.
You need a double.
I don't remember if I put a shot.
Daniel, I'll tell you, I don't drink, but the way you describe that, it sounds really. What is that again? What do you got?
I got some praline flavored whiskey. It's really good. Man. It's sweet. It's not the pecan praline that I like. There's this. It's called Texas Select Pecan Praline Whiskey. We're not sponsored by them yet, but if you guys are listening in, please, I would love to. I'd love to represent.
Let's let the chat send it to them.
Yeah.
It does sound good.
Send it.
Yeah, if you find it, send it, please.
My bet is I can drink a whole bottle and not get drunk.
That's not true. And
we've seen nipples one time.
So
it's gonna start coming out. Yeah,
the packaging is just awesome.
It is dank. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, and it is good, man. It is really good.
That's what I usually take. I usually take the bird dog. But which was that one?
This one is the praline flavored whiskey. But
I like the
you get the Texas. Caramel. Yeah, salted caramel is really good. But if you get the Texas Select praline whiskey, I mean, it tastes almost like a root beer float, like almost, but not really, but with a bite. It's really good. It goes down smooth. It tastes really good. It's dangerous because it's so dang good. You end up killing a bottle in a day.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to try that. I've had some other bird dogs. That's the ones that comes with the shotgun shell shot glasses sometimes, right?
The chicken tiki.
Yes.
We're gonna put a word out, right? And then they just have to type it, and then it'll get entered.
Yeah. Let me do that right now. Hold on. So
Willow out here. What's going on, Willow?
Sylvia's here.
This is what you guys got to do. You got to put in the live chat hashtag turkey, all capital, hashtag TURKEY.
no spaces, no lowercase. Make sure you put it like that, because if not, you're not gonna get in the giveaway.
Yeah, you won't get entered. You won't get entered. So you once you all start putting hashtag turkey in, and we've seen a few, we'll probably wait about 5 minutes, maybe 7, and then we'll do. There they coming in, and then we'll do the giveaway. You'll have to email us, send us a screenshot.
Remember, it's got to be all caps. And I see that somebody didn't do all caps, so it's not going to pick you up.
Yeah, I've seen a couple do lowercase.
Yeah, you have to do all caps, guys, and that is not going to. It's not going to.
Everybody's bumping them in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a refill.
Too. I want that damn tumbler.
I'll be right back. I'm getting
a refill. I'm
putting mine in there.
I'm already down.
Put my name in the hat.
Put your name in the hat. Put your name in the hat, guys.
Get that tumbler.
Put your name in the hat.
Well, take it from somebody.
I was talking to me and Danny were talking about last time that we want to make like a little, almost like a game show, right? Danny, like give the chat just like an opportunity to win some stickers or whatnot.
Yeah, and we definitely got to try to do that here pretty soon too, man. But we have that. We have some other goodies that we'll be giving away. But also, don't forget, guys. I think it's at bonfire.com. Search for the Drunk Turkey Show. You get your chance to pick yourself up some pretty dope merch. We have the hashtag DTS Drunk Turkey shirt. Drunk Turkey Show shirt. I have mine coming in. Mine's the black one. Blue ordered his already. He's got the blue one. We have some for the ladies,
and we're getting into tank top season too now.
Yeah,
we got tank tops. We have crop tees. We also have the drunk turkey, the crop tee. We have the drunk turkey emblem on the back.
I like that hoodie too, man. I'm a hoodie guy.
Yeah, me too. This hoodie's pretty dope. This is the one that I'm getting, obviously.
Nice. I like that color. Yellow just pops, man.
It does. It does.
The Steelers.
It definitely that might play a big part into this. But yeah, check this out. It's at bonfire.com.
It's clean too, dude. I like that.
Oh yeah,
super clean.
Bonfire.com. Also, if you just go to the just YouTube and then hit the search or the store, you'll see it as well. Let me see. So we'll wait for Big Blue to get back. When Big Blue gets back,
hey, I got a question for the panel. I got a question for the guys on the panel. I'm having a lot of fun. Okay, and I thought of an idea the other day, and let me just throw this out there. Would you guys want to do this again? Maybe like once a month on everybody's channel. We spread the love across the channels. We get together and have kind of this crime, community. We build kind of this community together. I would love to do that because I think working in a group together totally helps out. So maybe once a month we could get together and do this respectively on each other's channels.
That sounds awesome, man. We could be called Beards for Fears.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down with that.
I like that. Hey, I mean, the way to truly build a community is through like panel shows like this and growing, and everyone kind of the audience gets to kind of find out about new people.
Sure.
Drunk Turkey though is in the unique position to be decently large on YouTube and help out smaller dudes. So I mean, man, like I think that sounds amazing.
I've said this. I've supported Daniel. I appreciate everything he's done for me. Like I said, I've been kind of piddling around on YouTube since 2021, and for years before that, I kept saying I always want to start a channel. I've changed formats many times, and now I've kind of found my niche. And Daniel, I want to just publicly thank you to every your audience. I know a lot of the same people in here, watch my channel as well. So thank you. And thank you to Jaime and Big Blue as well for allowing us to come on this panel and hang out with you guys.
Oh, yeah, man. You're welcome.
Awesome. You guys are really good dudes. And I want your channel to blow up, man. I want it to be 100,000 subs.
Yeah, that's our goal. Listen to this.
Get that plaque, right?
Listen to this.
Are you going to fart?
Just he leaned over. I thought he was about to.
Just as good. I was trying to get to my mic.
He did. I was like,
all of a sudden he's like, listen to this.
No, that was actually him saying, "Screw that idea. You guys can just fuck off right now."
Here's the jar of my farts.
He's like, this is what I think about your idea, real quick.
I appreciate everybody that comes on our show, man. And I've been on a few shows, and I've been on y'all shows, and I like y'all shows. I've been on some shows where, I mean, I love the show, but I was on there and I was like, what am I doing here? These guys are all astrophysicists, Harvard, professors, and
I'm just a schmuck in my bedroom making videos. That's
it. I'm just a drunk enjoying myself. Look, I got a little bit of cranberry juice with some pineapple, peach, strawberries, and here comes the enchanted vodka.
There you go.
And he has to work tonight too.
Oh well.
He drives Uber.
Hey,
he's a DoorDasher.
But what's it called? Yeah, man. Like that sounds like a great idea. I think we'll have a lot of fun. I like the chemistry we have. It's real chill, and that would be a great idea.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. We'll do this. So, you guys ready in the live chat? Everybody ready? 17. That's all we got.
We need 18.
17. Come on.
I see a
20 at least.
400 people are lacking.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
more. This is a free Tumbler.
Yeah.
Well, it is members only. I guess that's.
Oh yeah.
Well,
A
it's
lot
free
of
for
people
them.
aren't allowed to enter.
Let's do it.
There's some more
Everybody's
people
loving
adding.
panel.
Oh shit!
What happened?
Did it get anybody?
What?
It reloaded.
I hope I win. Oh, cotton gin.
Here
And
comes
the
the
winner
conspiracies.
is
It's
the
rigged.
Opinionated idiot.
It's rigged.
All right, let's
It's
see.
rigged.
Wait,
Why is
we're gonna have to
all
wait.
right,
Years.
Conspiracy, conspiracy.
Yeah, now it says 8. Let's everybody re-put in the
Oh, boy.
re-put. You know what? Let's change it again. I apologize, yo.
I don't want
We're gonna
to.
ch-
I have
I don't
8
wanna-
fake accounts. Not sure.
Blame stream.
All right, so yeah, everybody put hashtag turkey in again.
Sorry, guys. It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I think
Here's the dry
I think
run.
it's-
Mikey has said dry run.
I need my Tumbler. Hashtag turkey.
That was a good one.
okay. Start collecting. 13.
Okay, it's going.
It's going back up. 15. There it is.
There you
Starting
go.
to go back up.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh man.
21. There it
More
is.
people
There
than
it
you.
is.
Yeah, let's go,
There
guys.
it is.
Let's get that number up there. Let's give you all a chance.
30.
No, we
Wow,
had
it
30.
doubled.
What y'all
almost
doing a
already.
minute ago?
There it is. There it is.
Maybe it was
There
just
is.
glitched
Now-
out and it wasn't even counting a lot of people.
Dude, we didn't even have this many last time we gave away Steelers tickets.
Yeah.
Dude, I
You
had
gave away Steelers tickets.
I gave
Yeah,
away
we
Steelers
gave-
tickets, man.
Wow.
Well, it's because I have a Steelers YouTube channel as well.
Oh yeah.
And at that time, my Steelers channel was bigger than the Drunk Turkey channel.
Mm.
And so what we were trying to do is trying to promote both channels by giving away tickets. And all you had to do was to be a member or just be a subscriber and
Just
enter
to be a
code.
subscriber.
Yeah.
39. That's where
That's
we're gonna hit it.
awesome.
Wait.
Wait,
I feel like we still need one more.
We need one more.
We need a nice
40.
round
There
number.
it
There
is.
we go. 40.
Run it. Run
Run
it.
it. Draw.
Fingers
Uh-oh.
crossed.
Is it going to be?
Oh, is it gonna be?
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
dude. Congratulations. Email us at
Congrats.
it's drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com. Email us. We can get your information so we can send out a couple of stickers and that tumbler to you. Congratulations. Whoa.
Awesome.
I swear that was not a slur.
And we're canceled.
Congratulations. That may have been a double, guys. I may have accidentally poisoned myself.
It's okay. I'm drinking a triple and I'm still good.
Dog. To your knowledge, buddy. To your knowledge. Last time Blue got crazy, man. And
I don't remember this. It never happened to me.
you never. Oh, there's a lot of evidence out there, and so and thank you. Just give us an email and we'll get your information and we'll hook you up. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you everybody that's been a member as well.
Thank you, guys.
What do you call it?
Wait, there's gonna be more giveaways, so don't.
Yeah, we're probably going to do this maybe every 2 weeks or so. have a member giveaway. We'll be giving away a beanie or another tumbler or some stickers, things of that nature, just to show our support back to those that support us, right?
Yeah. Thank you guys, man.
Always about the community. It's always about the community.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, 100%. So we had a question, a poll question in the chat earlier, and I'm gonna go one on through you guys, and I want you guys to answer the question as well. And the question is, it says, finish this sentence. If Kohberger walks, it's because 1, he's innocent, or 2, the police botched the case. Jaime, which one do you think it is? You think it's 2?
I'm gonna go with 2. I think it's gonna be if he gets let off, his book deals are gonna go up crazy, man. I'll tell you that. It's gonna be like a what's it called, Casey Anthony kind of thing.
Oh, for sure. What about you, Big Blue? Do you think now we're not saying he's getting off. We're not saying he's innocent. Yeah. We're not saying those things. We're just asking the question. We're finishing the sentence. If he walks, is it because he's innocent, or is it because the police messed the case up? What do you think, Blue?
I thought it was because you can't run in shackles, but I think it's gonna be that they botched it if he walks.
You think so?
Yeah,
what about you? Oh, go ahead, Blue.
That DNA is too much for me. To me, it's still a good source of DNA.
Now that's what I answered, and I actually did answer it as soon as I came in. I answered 2 as well. Just at this point, that's where I'm at. Sadly.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we're good, but
yeah, for sure. What about you, Brian? What do you think?
If he walks free, I think that it was the cartels working with the aliens, and then Chief Fry's going to peel his head back, and ET's going to pop out. No, it's going to be a botched investigation.
Right. Yeah.
You've been watching my show.
Wait, you're the sober one?
The sober one here? Yeah, that's right. Maybe.
What about you, Dan? What are your thoughts on that question?
Same as everybody else. I think we got the right guy. I think they have the right guy. If he walks, it's because they botched something up. They messed something up. Whether it be the DNA thing that we mentioned earlier, where they claimed that it was found in Idaho when it wasn't. It was found in Texas. That could be a big deal. Or if it's the most recent thing with the calling the police forces credibility into question.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for me, we don't know about yet. Yeah, for me, it's going to be a sweep across the board. I think if he walks, it's because the police botched this up. And the one thing that we also have to take into consideration as well is this guy, as much as a lot of people say he's stupid or he's dumb or he left the sheaf, that's a dumb thing to do. The guy, by all accounts, has been described as a guy who's intelligent, very smart. This is a department that's probably not accustomed or used to these type of things. And it's clearly obvious. I mean, there were so many things that ended up going in Bryan Kohberger's favor. You start off with the fact that the 911 call didn't come until hours later, right? And then you have the police, and in fact, you don't even have the police called first. You have friends called that trample through the crime scene. Then when first responders go, they trample through the crime scene. And so you have all these things that are working into his favor. And the fact that he has an understanding of criminology, I think it's going to be very tough, man. I think this is going to be a very tough case. We have a 199 super chat says, do you think they changed it to Fire Squad because of him? That's a good question.
No, I know that one actually. When I did an episode on this live, in a lot of these states, man, the drug companies that give the drugs for them to actually be lethal injected, they don't want to sell these states the drugs anymore to put these guys down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's a shortage too.
And a shortage as well, yeah. And a lot of the states that still have some of these drugs, they went out of date in 2013. So a lot of them have old drugs, and then they're having to figure out new ways. And I mean, I did a short on this also, and Dan ended it with basically what happened to the electric chair, right?
Yeah.
I have a question for everybody. If he walks, what is his life like after if he walks?
Dude.
Oh man, I gotta, when it comes down to that, I mean, it's already affecting his siblings' lives.
Yeah.
You know
All
what I
the
mean?
sisters, right?
Yeah.
I
just read that.
They've been fired from their jobs, which I think is wrong. I mean,
Dude, same.
listen,
It's horrible.
They have nothing to do,
Dude, it's horrible.
I feel bad for his parents. Like,
but the sister can sue if it was wrongfully not wrongfully fired. But most companies will.
Unless she's in West Virginia. In West Virginia, it's a right to work state, and you can just get fired for no reason at all.
Really?
It's also tough to just sue
100%.
somebody. You have to have money to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's from New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's there's a lot of union type of stuff out there. So I highly doubt that's going to be the case.
It's a very liberal state too. So.
Yeah. But
right in that New York area.
I can if he ends up walking, he's going to write a book.
Yeah.
And he's going to be well taken care of.
It's just, this is such a, like, my brain is melting. This case is just so weird.
I know.
I can't, it's just like, I can't. Every time I turn somewhere else, it's something else. And it's like, the possibilities, it's just.
Here's a question I have for everybody. If he's guilty, if he takes questions from reporters or people like us, would y'all go interview him in person?
Yes,
I would.
Yes,
I would definitely want to go interview him in person.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm really into serial killers. So for me, it'll be it'll be a good start off point, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be wild.
Sheila, I haven't gotten your email yet. I just want to make sure that you have our email before the live ends. That way we can get in contact back. There's no it's just drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com. Just making sure that you got that. Because last time we gave away an item, we had some trouble connecting via email. But yeah, no. So back to Kohberger. Yeah, if he walks, he's got book deals. There's probably going to be a movie. There's, I would probably interview him if given the opportunity. Even if he doesn't, if he's in jail and he's on death row and he's open to taking interviews, just like BTK were to come out 100%. And say, hey, or any of these guys that are on death row, they want to give us a perspective of their perspective of things, of what they've done, and what they thought of, their emotions and all this other stuff, and how they feel, and what their thoughts are on current cases. I mean, that's what the police do. It's been shown that they've done that in this case. And so for
Ina Shu, I put the banner up so you can read the email.
Yeah, drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com.
I do think if he were to walk, that things would die down eventually. It may take a long time, but things would die down eventually, and he may be able to have some sort of a normal life. Obviously, he would run into people that have their opinions of him, and he would have a lot of issues. And especially in the beginning, he would have lots of issues. He would have a very hard time having a normal life for, who knows, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I do think it would eventually die down into where he could have some sort of a normal life if he were to walk.
It's go ahead, guys.
I think if he's acquitted of it, and I think they'll give him a witness protection kind of thing.
Yeah,
he'd have to change his name, I think.
Yeah,
you have to grow a beard.
Yeah,
right.
Well, it's like Zimmerman to me. I haven't heard much of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say, it's like OJ. He's a guy. He went to prison. He's been out. He's had talk show guest appearances, things of that nature.
He's rich. That makes things a little bit different.
Yeah, he is. Well, to a certain extent. I mean, when he went to jail, it was because he was stealing his own memorabilia because he was poor or broke.
True.
And so,
how does he make his money now?
He goes and does a book that's called "If I Did It." I mean,
yeah, right.
That's really what it was.
He murdered without admitting to the murder.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's got that.
What's up, great Twitter content?
Yeah.
Hello, Twitter world.
Hello, Twitter world. Oh God, that was bad. So crazy.
I believe it was in Japan. There was a self-proclaimed cannibal. He ended up killing a student of his, and he ended up, consuming some of her body parts. He got convicted of it. He was let out, and he made movies. He made book deals, and after he made all that movies and all that money and all that stuff, he just disappeared. Nobody knows where he's at.
Wow,
it's crazy, man. It's like, I guess it's like morbid, curiosity for people.
I know where he's at. He just crossed the El Paso border. It's open.
All right, Enan. No, man, I'm so bad with names. Shoot, I got your email. We got your stuff, so we'll get that Tumbler sent out to you here pretty soon.
Now,
Now,
see that title, Michigan. Pull up that Michigan gal, Brian's book. If I drove a white Elantra.
If I drove, yeah.
Oh, man.
$2 super chat. If Casey Anthony's a perfect example, found not guilty, but yeah, she's not out there anymore. And she had that special that came out that made her look even more guilty, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Than anything else. Another theory that's out there, guys, that I wanted to ask you before we cut the stream off. Do you guys think Bryan Kohberger did this alone? That's we'll just answer. Well, you can give your explanation if you do or don't, but that's the simple question. Is think he did it alone? We'll start off with Jaime, Blue, Steve, Brian, and then Dan. Jaime, what do you think?
I think so, just for the fact that if you have too many people in a crime, it just takes more risk that you're going to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the only way I can,
Good point.
Big Blue, what are your thoughts? You think he did it alone?
No, the driver's right there. Her name's Willow. She drives the white Elantra.
Right in front of us.
Right in front of us. Yeah, right under our noses. But no, I think he was alone. I think he did.
You think so?
Yeah.
Steve, what do you thought? What do you thought?
I mean, I've flip-flopped on this on my channel numerous times, and I've debated it with myself. I've debated it with Dan, and I've debated it with chat. And I mean, it's hard for me to fathom doing what he did alone. Now, to your points, because he seems like a smart guy. Ultimately, I know that he's in prison right now for this, but a lot of the measures that it seemed like he was taking still seem to be more on the smart track. So I can't. It's almost hard to Jaime's point. It's almost hard to see the possibility that maybe he would take the risk of somebody else even being in on this. But to that exact point, it's hard for me to fathom one guy doing all this. But at the exact same time, I know it's possible because it's documented as possible.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm on the fence. I have no answer.
So with all that said, I don't know.
That's where I'm at. My show in a nutshell.
Brian, what are your thoughts? You think he did it alone?
I think for me, it's like I think I'm like Steve. Like I struggle back and forth. As new things come out and I see things and I hear things, it's like I don't know. The way that I kind of put this is, you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen because it could be too many things for a mistake. And if this guy wanted to allegedly commit the perfect crime, you're going to want to do that on your own. You're not going to want someone there that could slip up or be seen or whatever. But on the other hand, it's like, with the weird
it's the
stuff
time
around,
period, right? It's everything that happened in 15 minutes, like 20
and just
minutes tops.
That weird thing with like Kopeko, we're not hearing anything about it. They won't release the so it's just I don't know. It's just my brain is melting. I don't know. My brain is melting. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I do week on the internet. Our brains are just like going into hyper overload.
Yeah, I do think, like I said, I do stick by this. I think they have the right guy. I do think that, but I don't know, man. It's just every day it's different for me.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's very true.
Thank you so much for your $20 super chat. Corrine, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We salute to you.
Yeah,
I'm still saluting to everybody. I'm feeling it to y'all.
I ran out.
Dan, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think that he did it alone?
Man, it's tough. When at first I thought, it was kind of like what Stevie was saying. It's impossible for someone to do this in a short period of time by themselves. Cause this much damage, do what he did, right? But then I remembered, Ted Bundy at one time broke into a sorority and assaulted many people.
Had basically a rampage killing
by himself. Sexually assaulted 2, killed 2. and then physically assaulted like what was it, 6 or 7, like 5, maybe 5 other. I can't remember. Maybe it was 7 in total.
And bit one.
Yeah, and bit one. Yeah.
What did him in?
Yeah.
But I mean, if someone was able to go in and cause that much chaos, that's the documented thing. That's like makes me believe that maybe it was possible. I want to believe it was just him, so that there's not any more chaos that we have to go through. We have the one guy that did it, and there's not somebody else running around out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm honestly kind of like the Brian and Steve. I'm on the fence about it because I still find it so hard to believe that somebody could do this by themselves. But I'm not saying it's impossible.
Yeah, me too. I think this is a one-person job at the end of the day. I find it hard to believe that there's 2 people there. I go back and forth whether or not it was Kohberger or if it was somebody else. I mean, the motive is what really puzzles me, right? And the reason being is you had a lot of things going on that night. You had the undercover or unmarked operation going on right in front of the house that they had kids parked out there till about 3:15 in the morning. You had the hit and run that happened right in front of his house as well. You had all these circumstances that were going on. You had Kaylee had a new vehicle that she hadn't posted up on anything. She hadn't been home for a week and a half, right? That's from Steve Goncalves. She was up there in Coeur d'Alene for a week and a half with her family. She had just gotten back that Friday and was leaving on Tuesday. So there was a brand new vehicle, even if he was stalking them and watching them and passing by. There was a brand new vehicle parked there in front of the house, right? So there's all these obstacles that are happening. And then you have a DoorDash guy at 4 o'clock. Like, what's the motive there? If the motive is the perfect crime, you're already setting yourself up just by having police in the area and all these other things going on for failure. I would assume that you might reschedule it. Like, hey, all these factors are going down. If this is going to be very difficult for this to have happened. So that's why when I first looked at this case, I was like, man, somebody had to really had a lot to lose to go through 4 people, have a vehicle brand new and parked outside. Nobody's ever seen, right? All these cars parked out there to go into a house filled with 6 people also to commit this crime. There was a lot of either emotion or a lot to lose. And so I find it hard, the difficult part about the motive. And like I put in my defense theory, I was like, you have means, opportunity, and motive, and that's the formula for a crime. Opportunity and means are there for Kohberger, but the motive is a question. Now, is there a guy out there that has all 3 of those? And I would say, yeah. In fact, it would probably look better if, that formula would probably fit better more the ex-boyfriend. One, he was there with them that night. He was at the Corner Club. We brought up the tweet from the Corner Club that stated Bryan Kohberger wasn't there that night, but Jack DeCore was at the Corner Club that night. So he knew Kaylee was in town. He knew that she drove a new vehicle, and he knew that she had gone on a date with somebody else. And the reason we know that is because on the interview with the Goncalves family, with Olivia, they brought it up. They stated that she went on a date, the guy called her a bitch, and then she went and called Jack afterwards. So he was aware that she was dating within a week and a half of their 6-year relationship being over. So who has the motive there? Who has the opportunity? And whose phone also isn't working or isn't being answered during the commission of the crime or around the time? Damn. Now you have him stop answering. Now, supposedly, according to the Goncalves family and that interview, he left early because he was tired. They asked him to go to a different bar downtown. He said no, he wanted to go home because he was tired. However, when they leave, that's when the whole Adam thing comes up, right? They're leaving. They're very close to the Corner Club. And so my assumption, because according also to Steve, that Adam thing was Kaylee wanting to get back with Jack, right? So who would be the one texting her throughout the entire time she's at the grub truck and that Adam video? It's probably Jack DeCore, but he left early because he was tired, yet he's texting throughout that entire time. 2:30 comes around, that's when he stops. Stops calling, stops everything. The next morning, Goncalves family finds out about this incident. They look on the TV. There's a news article of an unconscious person there. So if this is on the TV, that tells us that this is after the 12 o'clock 911 call. Now, I've brought the question, this is a small ass town. Do we think that NBC, CBS, or whatever has affiliates in Moscow or Pullman that are ready to go, cameras, reporters? Probably not. They're probably about 30 to 40 minutes away at Lewiston or whatever it's called. And so if they're there at the fastest time possible, let's put it at 12:45. That's at that time the Goncalveses called Jack. He doesn't answer then either. So he's not answering that night. He's not answering that morning. Now, I know he went over there. They checked his body. He didn't have any scratches, but neither did Bryan, according to what we have seen or what we've heard. Everybody's described his attitude changing and all these things, but nobody's talked about, he had scratches on his arms, on his neck, physical. On his face. Right. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Thank you so much, Lisa, with your $9.99 super chat. I really enjoy watching all you guys together. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And so when you put all that together, like, who knew that Kaylee was going to be there that weekend? Because she was leaving by Tuesday because she was going to take her mom out for her birthday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so who knew she was even going to be there that weekend? And so I think they're going to point the finger at Jack Core. They're going to point in his direction and say, this guy had motive, this guy had opportunity, and he had the means to do this. And when they present that case, it's going to be very difficult for people that don't know all the facts. Let's just say they do find an unbiased jury that has never heard anything. And it's going to be pretty difficult to not look in that direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a lot of good points. I mean,
the one thing that I pull from what you just said is whoever was there that night was very determined to do it that night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. You know what? I was just thinking, about like the two-person theory, how everybody said two-person theory. Whenever you've ever been in a car with someone and they're driving and you're giving directions and you have that hesitation. So I was thinking maybe in front of the house, if it was two people in that car, you have that weird, no, it's over there. It's, park there, not there. Maybe there's some kind of argument going in the car of how to park and where to park.
It's a good point.
Just
Just
another theory. Because, you've probably been driving with someone. You're like, no, you're supposed to take a left, not a right or whatever. You know what I mean?
I know where I'm going. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Who's driving right now?
Yeah. That's
a good point.
And
just
so,
another theory, just something else to throw in the ether and have everybody think.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And thank you, Hillary Hildebrand. We appreciate your $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much.
You're confusing them even more, Bryan.
But those are my theories on the case, and that's why I have such a big question mark in this case. Because that's just the motive, means, and opportunity aspect, And then you got to look at the different aspects as far as direction of travel. You're also looking at the pings where it has him in one direction. You have cameras showing him 1.5 miles in another direction. If it's the same person, there's some question marks that are there. And then, there's the possibility of some of this evidence not even seeing the light of day. And then there becomes the possibility of some reasonable doubt there. But Hunter J didn't. So here's the thing about Hunter. It's my understanding that he's Ethan's best friend that found the bodies. If you watch that eulogy, that dude, you can tell. I've been around people who've seen a lot of things that we've had an interview. He saw something crazy, and I don't think he's involved in it in that manner. And Hunter J is at Hunter Johnson, right? Yeah,
suffering from some sort of shock.
Right. From my understanding, is he's the guy that found the bodies and called 911 off of Dylan's phone.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, honestly.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys off air where I got that from. It's not my. I've gotten it from a few places, but it's not for me to say. But you know what I'm saying, and so. I strongly suspect that was the situation there, and I don't think he's involved to that degree, but I do think he saw the bodies.
We try not to go too far down the rabbit hole because we always end up getting somebody chasing us.
Right. Charlie McGaw says they always pull someone to investigate them, even if they know or don't know, but even when they do know, pull that person into interrogate. Why didn't it happen? Oh, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. I'm sure they interrogated Jack Gore, Bethany, and Dylan to a full extent. I mean, those are probably your prime suspects, number ones, as soon as this investigation started. You know, you have the two survivors are probably the first suspects, and then any ex-boyfriend or ex that would have an issue with this are the next suspects. But we are getting a little bit long in the tooth, y'all. A little bit over 2
Daniel,
hours.
Do you mind if I plug my live for today?
Oh yeah,
no, go ahead. If you guys are going to be doing anything, go ahead.
As soon as this ends, guys, head over to Publicly Buzz Live. I will post that in the chat right now. I am doing a live stream every Friday night at 10:30. We do a live stream. Come over there, hang out tonight. I'm going to be jumping into a little bit more conspiracy stuff. This is the 6th conspiracy stream that I'm doing in the Moscow, Bryan Kohberger, Idaho stuff. I'm calling this one Christchurch Cult of Doug Wilson Conspiracy Stream 666. Going to be getting into some really weird stuff tonight, and yeah, it's going to be a good one. So hopefully everybody can come over and hang out.
Yeah, guys. You always have a great show. I always jump on your show sometimes when I'm chatting.
You,
Thank you.
Brian, do you have any last words before we let everybody go?
Yeah, I mean, I've had an amazing time here on the panel. Like I said, I'd love to do this maybe once a month. We can collectively get on each other's channel. We'll do a panel like this and just roundtable a bunch of stuff. I think, you know, this gives good active feedback for ourselves to think about, and also the audience as well too, you know, because we might bring something up and someone looks in the sun, hey, maybe you didn't see this. As well as too, I have a channel if you guys want to check it out, The Opinionated Idiot. We'd love for you to come over and subscribe. I live stream Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice. In fact, both of these guys have their link in the description. Make sure you guys go give them a subscribe. Let them know that the Drunk Turkey Show sent you.
Yeah.
Blue, you got any final words?
Yeah, man. I just want to let you know about a story I heard today. You know, crime doesn't pay always. Okay, so I was reading a story today. There was a food truck worker. You know, it was a mom and son working. This guy pulls up to him and asks what kind of food they're serving, and they say, you know, we're serving, you know, I can't remember what kind of food it was, but he pulls out a revolver and or a gun and tried to pull the trigger, and it jammed, and the mom pulled the gun and shot him and killed him. So crime doesn't pay, guys. Crime doesn't
not
pay.
in Texas.
Crime does not pay.
Jaime, what about you, man? Any last words?
Yeah, man, I just want to say thanks to everybody on the panel, everybody on the chat, members, mods. Thank you. And like Brian said, it would be great to do this once a month. Can't wait to do it again with you all guys.
Yeah, man.
I echo the same sentiment. It was an awesome time for me, guys. Make sure you go follow and subscribe to these gentlemen down here. I enjoyed it. It was a really good blast. It was a good time talking to you guys. Go check out Publicly Buzz. They're going live here after this. But we're going to end it like we always do. We'll tell you not to drink, but we don't want you listening to drunks.